Hi everybody, happy Saturday. We're going to hope that today's video works a lot better than Thursday nights. I'm really sorry if you were here on Thursday. It was a disaster when it came to the video and it lagging. So hopefully today it'll be a bit better. So we are going to finish off our 6x6 storage boxes, and I actually made two, so both of them will sit on this base and we'll have more storage for our 6x6 paper. Now in the post that, hey do, on the post that I posted today, I have all the measurements for these boxes and the base. So let's just finish this off, and I am going to add some tearing tape to this because we want these two boxes to actually be adhered together. And let's see, get my trusty little tearing tape cutter. And all I'm doing is adding tearing tape to the very edges because we really want it to be secure. It's really not going to get that much wear and tear because we're just going to put our 6x6 paper in this. Now I'm also going to make storage for cards, birthday cards, anniversary cards, so I can separate them out and have them on the ready and just replace them. I have so many cards in this room. Replace them as I use them, and I'm going to make a box just like these, probably with similar paper. I think I mentioned this was the free paper from Celebration, and I figured this was a good thing to do with this paper. Because it matches any color, any decor. Alright, let's just quick do the bottom while I'm thinking about it. And again, we want it to be secure. This one, I want to make sure it's on the edge. One, and I'm going to do glue also just to make sure. Okay, but first we're going to adhere the two boxes together. So yeah, and start my store. I know, I did get bags for all my cards, so I will be going through them. I mean, I create so many cards a week that they're really starting to pile up. That's why I figured I'd start doing some storage solutions, so this way we can get, well, I could get my craft room to get organized, and I figured it would help everybody else out too if you're struggling with organization in your craft room. Okay, so I have all my tearing tape on the side of this box. Now I'm just going to take some glue. Hopefully this is my new one. And I'm just going to add glue in between, and it's not. Here it is. Let me grab the new one. Hey Bonnie, how are you? Just going to add glue in between the tearing tape just so it has a little extra to adhere to. And I did put the tearing tape on the bottom, but we're not going to take that tape off yet. So we're just going to grab these two boxes and line them up just like that, and make sure that they are adhered really well. I'm just taking it off my table for a second, but we want this center to be really nicely adhered. Okay, so now that I have the tape on this side, I'm going to put it on the other side. And like I said, if you're just joining, all the measurements for these boxes are in the post for today. I also attached the measurements, created a folder for storage solutions or organization solutions in its own special album. I was able to add the last video into the folder, thank goodness, and I also put the measurements in there. So just in case anybody was looking for them, they're all right there. Now after we get this box together, the measurements for the ribbon I will add into that folder. Okay, so now that I have the tape on the bottom of the box, oh, you and me too, Bonnie. That's why I decided to do this. I'm trying to get my room organized, and what better way for me to organize my room than to add it as a Saturday video. We've done explosion boxes, we've done photo albums. Now it's time to get the room organized. So now that I have the tearing tape and everything on the bottom of these boxes, I'm going to put it on the 7.5 by 7.5 base. And I want to get it as centered as possible. And the glue will allow me to move it a little bit. Let me just see here. That looks pretty good. So I'm just going to get inside and push down on these boxes. Okay. So now, see, it fits the 6 by 6 inch paper. Hi, Shannon. Yeah, I don't have free time either, Shannon. That's why I'm doing it on a Saturday. So, like I said, I have so many packs, so they'll fit quite a number of packs, okay? And I know, like the specialty paper, it's not going to last that long. So, when it comes to the tabs, you may just want to put like celebration paper or mini catalog paper. But I did also make some separators with some tabs. And let me just grab a piece of paper so I can show you exactly what I did. These measure 6 by 6.5, and here's just a scrap piece. And what I did was I grabbed my envelope punch board and I put it at the 1 7/8 inch mark, and I punched it. I took my corner round just around this corner, and then I grabbed, and I'll grab it real quick here, I grabbed my cutter, and I lined this up just so I could see the cut mark in the center of here, or the gully for the cut mark, and then just very slowly brought it up to that piece, and you'll feel it when it cuts it off completely. And then there's your tab for your separators. Then for the next one, what I did, I knew this was 1 7/8 inch wide, so I went to 1 7/8, and then I added 1 7/8 inch again, and I punched it and did the same thing. Then this way, I knew my neighbor was going to call me. I'm going to have to call her back. So this way they're offset a little bit, and it'll make it easier for the separators inside your box. So we can take the paper and separate each pack of the 6x6. And there you go. That is a nice 6x6 storage. You can decorate it if you want. I'm going to leave mine plain for now. There's no need to decorate. I know I do have some of those little corner embellishments that we had, Stampin' Up! Had. I may put them on the corners. But there is storage for 6x6 paper. So it's perfect. So now let's look at our ribbons. I don't know about you, but most of my ribbon is sitting around in piles all over the place. So I have some really nice boxes for the ribbon that you can feed them through and keep them nice and neat. And I'll show you how we can make these boxes. I would suggest using the heavy duty cardstock, the heavy duty basic white, because I think I threw it away and cut out a new one. I had done it in regular cardstock, and it was just a little bit too flimsy for me. Now the ribbon, just like the in-color ribbon, the size box you would need, or the size paper you would need, is 9 1/4 by 5. That would be the size you would need for the in-color size ribbon. So I think that is 3/4 of an inch, just about wide for our ribbon. And then you're going to score it at 3/4 of an inch, 4 1/4, 5, and 8 1/2. And like I said, I will put these measurements and everything in the file, the media file that I'm creating for the storage, okay? Hey Karen, how are you? Yeah, ribbon. Awesome, right? And then on the short side, 3/4 and 3/4, and then what I did was turned it and did it 3/4 again, just to make it a little easy. So like I said, don't worry about writing anything down, because I will get it all together for you and post it in its own little album, so you'll know where to find it. You just click the media tab or photos and go to albums, and I think I have it set as storage. Okay, so we fold and burnish all our lines. Now I did add a circle on one side, and I put it on the bottom side of the box, just so when you pull out your ribbon to use it, you don't want a giant long tail. You'll have a spot that you can wind it back up. My fingers are cold today. But you'll be able to line it back up. And if you wanted, you could put a little glue dot there to hold it down. But I'm actually going to show, we're going to make a box to match our 6x6 box. So I took a punch that I have just to make it a little quicker, the 1 3/8 punch, and all I did was center it and punched out a circle. Just like I said, just so we could wind it up. And then we're going to just create our tabs. These are nice and quick and easy. If you wanted to, I mean, I wouldn't suggest it because the thick white is much better. But you could even match your ribbon to the cardstock. Where these are, we still have these until what, June, I believe, June or July. I will put little labels on them with the item number. This way I don't have to, if I need to go order them, I could just pull it right off the box. So we're just creating our tabs. Quick and easy. I'll show you. The reason I decided to do ribbon first is because I had all my in colors up on my shelf, excuse me, in a stack. And I don't really have any place to store anything because everything's such a mess in here. The rest of my ribbon is right here in a bag. So, and it's funny because I have the craft box furniture. I mean, I have never showed anyone because, like I said, my room is a mess. But I have, you know, with the desk and the drawers and the doors open, and it's a mess in here. So it's time to get some organization going. Okay, so now that all the tabs are connected, you may want to put the bottom of the box where the circle is not, but I have done them where the circle is, and I'm just going to continue that way. And I'm just going to add my seal, and I'm going to create the bottom of the box first. I was going to do the Stamp and Seal Plus, but I have the refills and I never bought the holder, so that'll do me a lot of good, right? Okay, so we're just gonna create these, make sure they're as even as you can be, put together the bottom of the box first, or it's my bottom. Like I said, you can make it your bottom, or you can do this side, but if you want this side as your bottom, you're going to attach all 4 of your corners, okay? So now we're just going to create this side of the box. Quick and easy. Just like that. So there's your box. Now we got to get this ribbon out of this box. So we're just going to open it up, and all I did was use a hole punch, and I'm going to just about in the center because it's going to get some wear and tear. So punch your hole, close your box up. Let's see what I did with my pencil. There we go. There it is. Go back to our hole, and all I'm going to do is mark the circle and then punch the other hole. Now I know that they're even. So now we're going to grab, let me grab my other in color. We're going to grab our ribbon. You're going to feed it through the bottom of the box first, just like that. And then you're going to take this ribbon and you're going to feed it through the top of the box, just like that, and close it up. And then again, you have this hole so you can get your ribbon and then we have all our ribbon ready to go. Now I didn't measure these holes, you could, I just eyeballed them. Okay, so these are for the small ribbon, okay? I did also make a box for the pink ribbon for the Whimsy and Wonder. And then I have two intermediate boxes that I did not create yet, but I just wanted to show you. For this one, the measurements, of course, are bigger. It's 10 3/4 by 6, and then it's scored at 1 1/4, 4 3/4, 6, and 9 1/2, and then it's scored at 1 1/4 and 4 3/4. Now again, this is for the larger spools, you know, and I did it exactly the same way as the other boxes with one exception. On this one, I actually ran it through the cut and emboss machine and I used a circle die. The reason being is when I folded this side to put my circle in the middle, you'll notice that it's going to catch the side of the box. And I didn't want that to happen. Now, I know, let's just grab a bigger punch. This hole is a little bit too big. But if you try to do it, again, you're going to catch the side of the box. It really won't do any damage. It won't hurt the box. But you're going to be using and pulling the ribbon all the time. I figured you really want these boxes to be nice and secure. So again, only difference is I used the circle die to cut out my circle and then created the box for the next size ribbon. Okay? So there's our ribbon boxes. I will have the dimensions for 4 different sizes for the ribbon. So if you have other ribbons, you can, create them for what you have. So now, for the ribbon, we need a place to store them. We want to keep these boxes nice and neat. So again, I'm using black chipboard, and I have 2 pieces that measure 10 by 3 3/4, just like that. Then I have 2 pieces that measure 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Then I have 1 piece that measures 10 by 1 1/2. and our designer series paper. I stuck with the same pattern. And we're going to create it the same way we created the other box, okay? If you weren't here when we did those, I'll show you really quick. I'm going to line this with my tearing tape. Get out my little cutter. Now, if you have thicker tearing tape, all the better. I ran out of my 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to space this and then add just a little bit of glue on the inside. Now this is the back. The other piece that this with this size is the bottom. Now we don't necessarily need to cover the bottom. I didn't on the other little box. So we're just going to remove the paper. So we're going to have more tear and tape paper around today. Okay, then I'm just going to grab my glue, just going to put some glue down the center just for a little added adhesive. Now when you cut your DSP, you want it to be a little larger than these pieces. Okay, I'll measure it in a second. And we're going to center this on this piece, just like this. And then just make sure it's on here really well. So that other box, we made them so they were quick and easy to do. So, we can leave these edges, but I'm going to just cut them down a little bit so they're pretty much all the same size. Okay? Just like that. Then you want to cut out the corners, and we're just cutting them, lining our scissors up with the chipboard, and hopefully you can see that. But I'm just lining the tip of the scissor up with the chipboard and cutting out the corner, just like that, every side. Now usually we would wrap it like we were going to make a present, but for these boxes I wanted to make them as simple as can be. So all we're going to do is add some tearing tape to one of the long sides, and this is going to be the top of the back piece, okay? Just like this. Let me grab my pokey tool. And I like to just pick it up just so we know that we have a nice folded edge, and then you want to just fold this over, okay? So there is the top edge. Now for these pieces on the side, this is how we're going to hold our box together. Okay? So let's grab, this is the front piece, and I actually didn't cut this piece down. So let me just quick mark this and do a quick cut. I'll be right back. Thankfully, everything's right here. Just don't want it to be too long, but we don't want it to be too short either. So, okay. So now we have our other piece. Again, I'm going to add some tearing tape. Real quick and easy. And I'm going to put one more right here down the center, and I won't need any glue. So I hope everybody's enjoying their weekend. It's a little chilly here today. It's crazy how the weather has changed so dramatically. Okay, so again, we're just going to center this on our designer series paper. Make sure it's really nice and adhered. And we're going to do the same thing. We want to cut out our corners. I mean, this is the easiest way I have found. And they are secure, so you don't have to worry too much. I just want to, let's see, do that. Okay. I think add some tearing tape. I'm just trying to think. We have to add the front and the sides. I'm trying to think of what is the best way to add this front piece. Because where it is shorter, okay. So now this will be the front piece. Okay, so here is our base. We'll line this up, and this will be the front. Get this in here. And this will be the back. Just trying to think how I want to do this. Okay. And then we have our side. So again, 3/4 by 3/4. And I may have cut this just a little bit too small. Yeah, let's use this piece here. Cut it just a little bit bigger, because you want to make sure that you have a nice edge to your paper. Okay, you want to have at least a nice bit of paper, since that is what we're using to hold our box together. Like I said, it makes it just a bit more easy to create. Now you can use liquid glue to adhere your DSP. Thanks, Beverly. Your furnace is on. Yeah, mine's been popping on too. 70 next week. Where are you, Bonnie? Yeah, I hear you, Beverly. I have mine set at, I think 59. My poor husband has been freezing, so he's got a sweatshirt and blanket. I have one of those electric fireplaces, so that's on. I sweat, and he's freezing. So there's no happy medium in our house. So I know that feeling. Okay, so this is the side now. And again, we just want to make sure it's adhered. We're going to fold down the top, and we'll use this one, and add our tear and tape. And then I'm not going to do the other side right yet. Well, I'll show you. I guess I could real quick. So you just want to make sure you cover all your sides before you assemble. So we're just going to fold it over. And that's one side. And then we're just going to, I want to just cut an additional one more piece, because I just didn't like the size of that one. But like I said, you don't necessarily have to use tear and tape. You can use liquid glue. I really haven't had too much success when it comes to liquid glue. My craft room is either too hot or too cold. Summer, it's brutal because I don't have air conditioning in here. And then winter, it gets really cold because I have the heat turned off in here. So, that's true. We always had a cold house. I'd rather be, I think, cold than hot. Because at least if you're chilly, you can put on a sweater, you can put on a sweatshirt, you can put on heavy socks and cuddle under a blanket. But if it's hot, there is no relief. So, okay. Last piece. Make sure that it's adhered really well. Now tomorrow, if you're not busy, I will be creating some alternate cards using the No Matter the Weather kit. So if you'd like to join, I think I have it set for, I think it's 1 o'clock. And we're just going to make 3 alternate cards with the kit. I think I posted the 3 cards already that you create with the kit. Oh, look at what I just did. I forgot to cut the corner out. That's okay. We'll do this side. But yeah, we're going to make 3 alternate projects or cards with the No Matter the Weather card kit. Okay, so now we have all our pieces. And like I said, let me move some of this stuff out of the way. We're going to take our bottom piece. Here's the back of the box. Now with this one, you may want to cover the inside of the box. I'm not going to, because the box will pretty well fit. There's only a little edge that's showing, so maybe I will. I'm not sure at this point. But this is going to be the back piece. So what we want to do is we're going to adhere this so it's going to hold this piece to the bottom. And what I usually do, again, we're going to put some tearing tape on here. I'm putting it right at the edge of the paper. Grab my little cutter. I love my little caps as cutters, okay? And you could, again, add glue if you want. But I'm going to pull my paper. And then I'm going to take a piece of the same exact chipboard I'm using, and I'm going to lay it up against, right up against the piece of chipboard for the back. Then I'm going to take the bottom piece, and I want to make sure I do this right. You're going to take your bottom piece and line it up so it's even at each end, and you're going to push it up against this wedge and then put it down. So it'll give you a nice wedged piece area the same width of your chipboard. And why do we do that? Because this way, when this folds up, it will give you a nice corner, just like that. Okay? So when you fold it up, it really seals down at the bottom. And you just want to make sure that's adhered really well. And you can see, here's our little cutouts. Okay, so now let's grab our other piece. And this is the front piece, and I'm doing this in sections like this because I'm not sure how I want to put those sides on yet. So I'm going to add my tearing tape right here at the edge. Good question. Let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's 6. Now let's make a little mark. I would say about 10. Probably 11 if it was just the smaller ones. I know it's not, I was going to make it longer, but I figured this way I'll just make an additional one if I need, but it looks like it'll hold about 10. Okay. So now we're going to do the same thing to this piece. And I'm going to hold this up, use this as my wedge. And we want to line it up. I hear my cat wanting to come in. And just put it down, just like that. Let me just let him in really quick. Come on. Oh, wrong cat. Why are you crying to come in? Okay, so there's the front piece. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. 2 years of in colors. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, when I had it, I do have some extra ribbon that I have on the side. Nope, not Iggy, it's Hal. But I use that for giving it away, actually. It was Hal that came in. Okay, so now we have our front and we have our back. I just want to see what I'm going to do with the sides. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is, where we have a short front piece and a large back piece, let's cut these pieces at an angle on here. And we're actually going to fold these pieces over and glue them down. And we'll use the side piece as the piece that's going to hold the box together. It's the one thing I didn't think about when I was getting ready to put this together. Okay, so there's one. Let's just get this one here. And again, if you wanted to cover the inside, I would say that now would be the time to do it. I'm sure won't be that difficult to do once it's all together, but it'd be easier right now. Okay, so we got that. Let's get this edge. Thank you, Florence. You love your kitty meows. It's so funny that the cats, just my 2 boy cats, love this room. Iggy likes it because he is free from the other cats. And Hal likes it because, you know, all our things that come in plastic, like our bags, this noise, he loves that noise. And he chews, I'll show you, this is what he does. I put my cards in plastic bags, and he chews all the corners of my bags and everything. So I have to now go back and rebag all the cards that he ruined. So that's what Hal does when he comes in here. Iggy, he's a good boy when he comes in, not Hal. Okay, so now we have our back, and we have to do our sides. Again, let's just cut a little wedge on each side here. This is our side. We want to actually cover this side, and we'll use this piece to hold the front of the box together. So we're going to, again, add some tear and tape. Like that. And then let's take care of this bottom, and we'll put it right on the side here. Oops. So this is our bottom. He's roaming, looking around for bags. Little stinker. Okay, so, whoops, lay our piece down. Let's get our wedge in there. I'm going to move it over just a little so I can see this edge. And we're going to just put it right up against. And now one of our sides is on. Okay? And like I said, what we'll do is we'll add tear and tape to the outside of this tab and to the outside of this tab, and we will connect the sides with those tabs, making it so nice and easy. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. Let's just wedge these corners so it doesn't show. And so you don't forget, you can line it up. We want this tab undone, so we want this tab to be adhered. So we're going to add our tear and tape. just like that. Do you hear him? He's at it already. Stop it! Pull the paper over. And there's the front. Okay. Now this bottom piece. Oh, thank you, Peggy. I forgot. When did we make that? We made it a while ago, I think. I have so many cards around here, it's crazy. Alright, one more side. So let's just pull this tearing tape. Did I get the paper off? Nope, a little bit of paper stayed on. There we go. Just grab my wedge. Again, I'm just gonna give myself some space so I can see. I feel like I'm all thumbs when I'm trying to get this lined up. You want to just line it up. Oops. Put it right against. Line it up. And push it down. Just going to lift that and move it a little tiny bit. Just a little too much space. That's better. Okay. So now here are all our sides. We just want to make sure that we have a nice edge. I'm going to fold that over so it'll make it a little bit easier. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's a good idea, Bonnie. See, I'm gonna, this, like I said, this craft box, I don't even know, I'll show you this one. The craft box has these little boxes in it, and then it has larger ones, and I don't know how many shelves. And right in front of me, I kept the boxes out, and I have open shelves, so when I'm sitting here at my desk, just picture it, I put everything in front of me on the shelf. So whatever I'm working on, that's where it goes. And my shelves are just a crazy mess right now. So I figured if I can organize and get my ribbon and paper together, at least I can start getting things looking a little neat, because it just gets to you sometimes. I know with me, if it's chaotic, I get stressed. So if I can get things organized, I'll feel so much better. Okay, so what I'm doing is I am putting, let me just turn this around so I can get this edge. I'm putting my tearing tape on the right side of this tab. And when I mean right side, it's the outside piece, okay? And I did 2 layers because I want to make sure that the whole piece is covered, because this is how our box is going to stay together, okay? So let's just do this on this side. I'll get all my tearing tape on here. Whoops. So this way I don't have to worry about adding any more tearing tape. Oops. Oh boy, I just lost it. Alright, and it's just so funny, you know, what you do when you craft. Some days I'm really good and I clean my desk off after I'm done. Some days, the day I know is going to be a bad one, and I'll come in here and quick do what I have to do and then leave everything, walk out, and close the door. My door stays closed all the time. The cats are only allowed in here when I am in here, so my door is always closed. So then the next time I open it, it's like, oh boy, I gotta clean up before I can do anything. Okay, so now that we have all our tabs and our tearing tape on, we can put it together. So you just want to make sure that your corners are nice and straight and even. And then you just want to make sure that that tab is really adhered. Okay? And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. And you can make these any size you want. You want to use them, you know, if you have pens or anything, and just adjust the size. Like I said, this one is, I figured for the ribbon was perfect. Alright. Make sure that's adhered. And it is pretty sturdy. Even with just using the tabs, it's a nice sturdy piece of storage box. What's the matter, eggs? And then again, I'm just making sure that's adhered really well. And let's go over to the last corner. And again, you want to decorate it. You can add ribbon to it, you know, little bows or little sentiments. Okay, we're just going to line this up. Get this. Now, when we add our ribbon, there's really no top and bottom, but you'll notice that when you pull your ribbon, you want it to pull easy. You don't want it to pull hard, okay? So I have it so it pulls down. So we can line these in the box. Let's put that one down there. And now your ribbons will be nice and neat. You'll have the little tails right here, so you can just pull and cut. You don't even have to take your ribbon out. Just look at it. You need your pale papaya. All you have to do is pull it out and cut it. So, what a great way to keep our ribbon nice and organized. And I am for sure going to fill this up and add it to my shelf. And I think actually my shelf, I should have went 2 more inches, because my shelf is about 13 inches wide on this, yeah, it's about 13 inches wide in this craft box. and I did it at 10. When it's finished, it's 10 1/4. So I only have about 3 inches on the side, so I guess I can always make something else to fit. So there we go. There is our nice ribbon storage. I hope you like it. I really love it. It's just I'm one step closer to something getting organized, which is amazing. So, thanks for joining today. I will put all the dimensions, like I said, I'll move this video to the folder. I'll put all the dimensions in the description. This way you'll have everything right there and you don't have to go searching for it if you decide you want to make these. So ladies, have a great day. If you'd like to create tomorrow with the no matter the weather card kit, yeah, couldn't think of the word there for a second, you're more than welcome to join us. I think it's at 1 o'clock. You're welcome, Florence. I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. Stay warm. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.